You wanting me to rub you, don't you? Well, go play in the dirt. Go play in the dirt. Look at your face. Look at you. Been playing in the dirt, hadn't you? There's Miss Daisy and Miss Minnie. Hi, Minnie Minnie. Come here, Minnie Minnie. Come here, Minnie Minnie. She loves to be rubbed, don't you, darling? Yeah, she loves to be rubbed. So does Dexter. He wants to be rubbed. He likes to be wubbed. Big old dude, aren't you? Look at there. Danny's cleaning up the corn, and he brought the roots and stuff and the stalks to him. And Mr. Dexter just likes to stick his head in the dirt, and look how dirty he got. You're a dirty baby. I know, you need a bath. You're dirty. He's fixing to put them some hay, so they're all wanting him to hurry up and get the hay in there. A little better. Let the tractor do the work. So we're going to be getting some hay for the animals. Danny cleaned off the spot. He moves it back and forth between two spots, the hay ring. Danny and I are working with the cows, and he's cleaning up the rest of the Danny corn. And I am picking muscadines. These things are everywhere in here. It's beautiful. I just love seeing them hanging, but we don't want the animals to get them. And actually, these are scuppernongs. They're a type of muscadine. They turn a golden, you can see the tint here starting to turn. This one's not ready. This side is kind of green. This side is turning. You can see the difference. It's kind of a champagne-y color. And so, I mean, look at this. This vine, all in here. Yeah, and Dexter's waiting on his hay. We're getting it. These are starting to turn, and they're soft. So I take the ones that are soft. I take the ones that are soft off, and they're turning somewhat. If they're turning and they're hard, like this one, I just leave it. And they are hanging all over the place. So I'm going to continue to pick my scuppernongs. And you can see some of them are starting to take a reddish tint. And they're not supposed to. And let me show you why. Alright, this is our scuppernongs, which is the white, champagne colored. And you see way over there? We thought they were far enough apart, but that's the muscadines, which are red. So they're cross-pollinating, even though from here to there should be plenty of space. It's not, because you see, they're crossing.
People are always asking me about sweet potatoes. When do we know when to dig them? Well, I have a sweet potato manual that I've written several years ago. It's on our Etsy store. It talks all about sweet potatoes, all about knowing when to dig them, just everything about sweet potatoes, how to start them, how to grow them. Well, guys, sweet potatoes require about 100 to 125 days to maturity. The first 2 rows we have here were planted 125 days ago. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to dig them at 125 days. They can go a lot longer if the weather permits, and insects and varmints and stuff like that. But it has been 125 days, and we're just here today to check a couple of plants to see how they're doing. Plus, we just want some fresh sweet potatoes. Now, granted, when we dig them, you can eat them when you first dig them. Don't get me wrong, you can eat them. But they're better if you will let them cure for about 2 weeks before you actually eat them. The tars in them and all the sugars and all the starches will all just mend together. And guys, they really are better after 2 weeks. But Wanda and I just want to see what we got going on here in the garden, see how they're coming along, because it's to a point now the grass is starting to come in and stuff like that. We don't know if there's a rat problem. We don't know what's going on underneath the dirt until you actually dig. So we're going to dig in here. We're going to see what's going on. And guys, you never know what you find when you dig sweet potatoes. Pull a few vines back here. Get down here. Let's see what we got going on now. Sweet potatoes, you want to start way back away from your row because they'll grow way out in here and you'll just break them all up. I'm kind of curious. I want to see what's going on here. I see one right here. Now that's good eating.
An 8 shape.
Yeah, look at that shape. Woo!
I can tell already that's a big baby. Good Lord.
Look at that.
Do you think there might be some of them ready, Pawpaw?
Now this here, when I was growing up as a kid, my daddy didn't eat these. We kept them to feed the animals, but that's because we had so many. This is called the mother potato. It is the first potato under the bottom of the plant. It is huge. It's perfectly edible. There's nothing wrong with it.
Miss Wanda's going to can it.
That potato right there will can...
At least 1 jar.
That'll can a whole quart.
Pretty close.
It's amazing. Literally amazing.
Okay, so 1 quart, and we ain't even began yet.
Look at that. Man alive.
And y'all see this field? We like our sweet potatoes, don't we?
We love our sweet potatoes. Now, these are the kind we like to make fries out of, sweet potato fries.
And that came off the vine that was running out, didn't it?
Yeah. Now, usually, I'll say this, usually when you have one of these, you don't have a bunch more sweet potatoes on the plant. That's usually what, all that growth went to this. These are perfect little potatoes for making fries. I don't see any insect damage or nothing like that. They look good. Nice bacon potato there.
And you don't wash these, right?
No. Another one for making fries. Look at that. Perfect.
In the curing process, we just take them straight from the field and let them lay for a couple of weeks.
Yep, we just let them lay. Out of the sun, in the shade. Let them lay. If there was any more back in this direction here. The ground is so dry here, it hasn't rained in a while.
We got rain every day for 2 weeks and then it quit raining.
Quit raining. Boy, when it quit, it quit. It's like powder and concrete.
This is in between the 2 vines that you were digging
Yeah.
at. So you have to kind of check.
You got to check, because I mean, what you end up with is these little potatoes like this, which make perfect little, like if you're making French fries or something, those are perfect for that. Don't throw them away. These here, if you got pigs or something like that, cows, they'll eat them things and just literally like candy.
And these vines.
Oh, the cows love the vines.
So we're going to be taking the cows some vines in a few minutes.
to me, I'll be honest with you, my daddy always told me, those are your best eating potatoes. Those little small ones. Everybody seems to want them old big old potatoes. That's your best eating potato right there.
Got the best flavor.
Got the best flavor, I'm telling you.
Look at there, some nice potatoes too.
Look at that.
That's perfect.
These are really your best keeping potatoes right here. Now you'll always know your potatoes are in really good shape where you break them off at. Now I got dirt on that one, but see if I see any one of them here that might be. I wanted to show you. I hadn't broke any of them off really. But when you see that white tar substance in there start to form around it, that means they're gonna heal over real good, and they're in real good shape for digging if you need to dig them.
So if you break one off, don't throw it away.
Don't throw it away. Even
it'll heal over.
It'll heal. Yeah,
even
it'll
if you
heal.
chop them up or stick a fork in them.
They'll heal.
But you need to eat those first.
You don't necessarily have to. I mean,
you just dug, yeah. Skint that.
Right, skint that one.
So those are
the ones out on the vines out here that's out of the row.
Look at that twisted one. Another good bacon potato.
I mean, look at that. Those are perfect. I mean, literally perfect potatoes. Can't beat that. Now see how I broke that end off of there? See all that white tar piling up in that? Yeah, these are ready. Now we're not interested in big old giant potatoes here at Deep South Homestead. I prefer the medium to smaller ones myself. They seem to hold better and do better.
And it's easier to cut them up. It's
They're
easier
a lot easier to cut up.
Deal with.
We got one vine potato sticking way off over here. Look at that one. That's perfect.
Almost like a carrot.
That looks like a carrot, don't it? But that's perfect right there, guys. I mean, literally perfect. Yeah, that one's growing on the vine out there. So you can't just discard the vines way off out like they're growing off out here, because they
put on roots.
They put on roots, and those roots, so if that vine gets broke, it'll make potatoes.
Potato beside your fork.
I see it laying there. Another French fry one.
All right, show the area now.
See, when you're digging along here, these are things we find too. There's an Indian arrowhead chip where they were chipping arrowheads.
We keep these. Now, no more than he's dug here. And look at the pile of potatoes he's done got.
Yeah, I ain't went nowhere yet. And I mean, and the potatoes, they'll be all over the place in here. You don't ever know where they're going to be at. They'll take off and they'll run out to the sides and everywhere else. And sometimes them rascals will be deep in the ground. You don't ever know where they're going to end up at.
And we always use a potato fork instead of a shovel.
Yes, the shovel just cuts them off. The fork will.
You might poke one, but it doesn't chop them in half and stuff.
Don't chop it up too bad. See, those are nice. I mean, we make a lot of fries and stuff. And if you can in jars,
it's perfect.
These are perfect potatoes for jar size. You could just sit there and whack that thing up like a carrot and put it over in a jar in chunks. Works out really good. It's about to a point where I can't hardly get up under them anymore. And these are all growing out on the vines out here. More of them that you can just chop up and put in jars. And these, when you put them in the hot water to get the skins off of them, these smaller ones, they don't have to be in the water as long, and the skin comes off really easy.
And I like to just take my scraper, my potato peeler, and just scrape the skin off of them. I don't even boil them before I put them in. Danny likes to boil. We have separate ways of doing stuff.
I'll just grab a few of them and throw them out. Those all go to the cows.
And there are edible parts to these.
You can eat the stems, you can eat the leaves.
But the cows love this.
Little potato out there.
And
Cows
see,
eat the potatoes too.
still blooming.
Yeah. And these can actually stay a little longer. Wanda and I just wanted some fresh ones. So we're actually going to leave them. Let them keep growing.
We'll check again next week.
Yeah.
So taking 2 plants, that's probably 2 plants right there.
Yep.
We got enough. We got enough potatoes for
Now here's another plant right here.
several
I've already
weeks.
pulled a lot of the vines off of it, so I might as well dig it.
so 3 plants.
Yeah. Get back out away from it where I won't. Oh, I broke one off. Look at that. No, something eat that off.
I don't know. It looks broke.
It may be broke. We'll
broke
know
it.
in a minute. Sometimes they get so long and so deep in the ground. This ground is hard too.
Yep. Good Lord.
Look at that.
Whoa. So a 2nd quart jar of potatoes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at that.
These are the kind that we just chop
Sucker
up
waste.
and put it in jars.
Another one we're going to eat today. I'm telling you, sometimes you just, them things will hide in there. All right, we're just going to dig these 3 plants. I mean, the rest of the garden is looking beautiful. It's still blooming. Got a little grass in it, but that's okay. That's expected with sweet potatoes. I think I'm going to give them another week because I believe they can handle it. I don't see anything messing with them right now. I don't see any rat problems or anything like that. And they look like they're doing perfectly fine. So guys, we're going to leave them another week. Probably go 135, 130, 135 days, something like that. Won't hurt them. But we got enough right now to have some nice fresh sweet potatoes for a little while. Look at that. Perfect eating size potatoes. Few for the cows. That's what we want. Good eating. Can't beat that.
In 2 jars.
And then the 2 big old, well, I call them mother potatoes. That's what Daddy always called them. Look at that. That's nice. How about get me the basket, Mama? We'll go through them and get the ones out that got messed up. Cows eat that one. And big boy.
There's a basket full.
Look at that. Man. All right.
There's 1 piece for the cows under there.
All right. Guys, I hope this is a little bit educational for you to see how to tell when sweet potatoes are ready to dig. These are ready to dig. Now, don't get me wrong. They're perfectly ready to dig. But there's nothing messing with them. They're still blooming. So we're going to let them go for another week. So thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.